Oh, I'm live. I'm sorry about that. Hi, Connie Myers here. It's Saturday morning. It's a little after 10 because I had some technical difficulties, but it's around 10 o'clock and it's to 70 and beyond. And we're all hustling and bustling. It's a week before Christmas, and all through the house, there's all kinds of mice running around. Well, I was thinking about what I wanted to get my two granddaughters for Christmas this year. And Crystalline Moments came out in 2015. And I wanted to go back because they are now young ladies and off on their own careers and doing their own thing. So I wanted to go back and I wanted to look and see just where they are today versus where they were when I put them in my book. So I put them in my book not just because they were my granddaughters, but because they were amazing human beings, even when they were little. And I have to say that now what they've become is just absolutely, totally amazing young ladies. And Kinsey now lives in New York City. She is a fashion designer. She's been a fashion designer since her very, very young years. And her story, I on each one of the chapters, I always put a quote from whoever I was writing about. And Kinsey, at the time, I believe she had just turned 12 or 13. I can't remember exactly. It'll probably say in here. Anyway, she was already a fashion designer. And her quote was, "So when an idea comes, don't just think of everything and not do anything." That's why I called this Out of the Mouth of Babes. That's a mouthful. The inspirations are the way the universe's way of providing us with crystalline moments that we don't recognize and act on opportunity. Will be gone or will affect our lives as we move forward. It is so important to see opportunity as soon as it arrives. As children, we see things without the prism of fear and doubt. This really describes my granddaughters. My next conversation is one of the very near and dear to my heart. It is a conversation I had with my granddaughter, Kinsey. Now, you may be thinking, oh no, now she's going to pull out the pictures of her grandkids. Well, I'm not above that. But I think you will understand why I had this conversation with Kinsey for this book when you finish reading her story. As of this writing, Kinsey is now a teenager and just turned 13. Her story starts when she was just 8. Kinsey is very, very much a girly girl. She loves bling and was very much a princess while she was growing up. Kinsey's not a plain blue jean kind of girl, and forget about the t-shirts. She always had her eye on dressing with flair. Even when she was very tiny, she knew what she wanted. I remember my daughter-in-law Molly telling me one time when I suggested that I would like to take Kinsey shopping for her birthday. That was not a good idea. She informed me that taking Kinsey shopping was an event not for the faint of heart. Here's our intimate conversation. I wanted to write about you and Taylor, my other granddaughter, because you both have some amazing human beings that have done so much already in your very short lives. Remember, she's just turned 13. You started at a very young age to create the lives of your dreams. When I was 10, I had crystalline moments that had affected my life for the next 55 years. I want to show people how they need to look at their own childhood and those of their children and see the opportunities that are available when crystalline moments happen many times when we are children. How old were you when you decided you wanted to sew? Kinsey, I think I was 7, but I was 8 when I actually started to sew. I started doing hems and things. Then I started on the machine. I had a lot of fun using the sewing machine, and boy, it's magic with her fingers. Was sewing and fashion design something that you had to think about, or was it something that just was there? I really didn't think about it. I didn't know much about the whole other world behind the scenes of fashion designing because it's not really talked about that much. But I love sewing and wanted to know more. I explained the crystalline moments that I had as a child. Can you recall any moments as they applied to your designs? I don't recall exactly when it started, but I was having a hard time falling asleep and had a headache that day, and a picture popped into my head. Now that is when designs pop into my head. The first time it happened, I was thinking of being in the garden with my family. I later drew a picture of it, and my dress kept changing in my mind. Those were my first 3 designs, and that was in 2010, so I was 9. So now you see pictures of fashion designs in your head. They just come to you. That's like a musician or an artist when they have songs or art pieces that just appear in their head. Yes, it can be very annoying because I am trying to go to sleep and I get these fashion designs popping into my head. I don't want to have to get up and draw them all out, but they are going around in my head. It only happens when I have a headache and I'm trying to fall asleep. She goes on to say, I will go for a while without having my designs come to mind, and it comes and goes. Sometimes I get worried that it won't happen again, but then it comes back. I'm just thankful that the designs keep coming. The first time I drew out the 3 designs and got the fabric, but ended up not actually making them. I started thinking about fashion shows and fashion designers. I started thinking about private jets and the fashion world. I have a great story. So we were out, they lived in Portland where I lived for many, many years. And we were out getting a Christmas tree. And Kinsey, we get back in the car and Kinsey says, I need to make sure that the luggage space in the plane in my private jet is big enough so I can put a Christmas tree. I really, that is a sign of a true artist, what about fashion design do you like the most? Do you like the drawing of the designs or the sewing of the designs? Is there one part of the process that you like better than the other? I really like the final piece. What's funny is that it never looks like the design you draw. It's always a little different. Then she goes on to say, back when I was 8, I thought I wanted to go to Oxford, and I still might like to, but that's not really a design school. I don't really want, now here she is, when I'm interviewing her, she's 13. I don't really want to go to design school because I feel with what I want to do is business school is more useful. 13. I started checking out design schools after my 11th birthday, but soon after I decided I wanted to go to business school. I'm now thinking Berkeley because it has a small design program, but it is a high-level program. She goes on to talk about her growing up and figuring out how to create these designs and how to do it. Kinsey goes, my suggestion, okay, wait a minute, I got to ask the question here. Any advice on actions that can make that happen? My suggestion is getting something out on paper. Start thinking it through because that is when you will start to see all the steps you'll need to take. 13. So when an idea comes, don't just think about it. Don't think of everything and not do anything. Just start working on it, even if you don't know where the ideas are going to go. Then you will be able to figure it out. Do I want to do this or that? Or do I not want to do that? That is great advice. Now, what kind of advice would you give the parents that have a child that is having things pop into their head? Kinsey. Okay, all you parents out there or grandparents, pay attention. Don't doubt them. If it is not a good idea, tell them. But if it is a good idea, help them. But it needs to be what they want. Don't push them because it is something you want for them. Don't change around things they are doing. Let them learn and do it on their own. Just let them be themselves. It has to be their own idea, and the parents just need to make sure their child is happy. That is the most important thing. Kinsey knows exactly what she wants to do, and believe you me, she has done it. I'm going to give you her Instagram page later so you can go check it out. She has a picture of the plane, the home she's going to own. She sees herself as a famous fashion designer and has the tenacity and drive to make it happen. She's a perfect example of someone living their dream and making it happen, creating those crystalline moments and then stepping into them. We can never get to our dreams. We must live from our dreams and then take steps to close the gap from where we are in the vision of our life. We do not need to know or understand how it is going to happen. We just must be at the frequency and the alignment of our dreams. Kinsey sees and acts like she is already a successful fashion designer. And the great news is, at 13, she is a great designer. She has even designed a dress for a young movie actress to wear on the red carpet for a movie premiere. Her parents told her that after she finished 6 design pieces, they would help her get a website. She designed the website and runs her business with very little help from mom and dad. As a matter of fact, her mom says she now goes to Kinsey when she wants an idea on how to sew something. Kinsey gave some very good advice for all of us. When we have an idea pop into our head, we need to nurture it to see where it's going to go. Try it on and see how it feels. Kinsey now lives in New York City, the Upper East Side, She has fall designs, spring designs every year. And her spring designs sold out in 10 minutes. And she had people begging for more. So she's actually going to be in her first Paris fashion show in a few months. And mom and dad and everybody are going to be there to cheer her on. She is an amazing, amazing fashion designer and somebody to watch. You can see her designs by going to her Instagram page. It's Kenzie, Kenziek fashion. And you will not believe what she is making and what she's doing and how she's living her life. So at 13, she already knew what she was going to do. And at 13, she already had a clear picture of what it was going to be. That's the secret of how you create a life by design, whether it's fashion design or some other kind of design. Maybe you want to be an accountant. Whatever it is, if whatever it is going to be that you want to be, you can learn from Kenzie and see how great it is to live your life by design. Now I'm going to go to my granddaughter, Taylor. I saved her story for the very last chapter of the book, and there was a really good reason. Her quote, "You are extraordinary," and she has been extraordinary all her life. Taylor is 15 as of this writing, but her story starts on, this was 6 years ago. Her story starts when she celebrated her 8th birthday. She was giving back. Her giving back started then. It started with a food drive, and then it combined with a birthday, as long as I can remember. Taylor is an extremely bright young lady and is wise way beyond her years. At 12, Taylor started writing a blog while working toward her 2nd-degree black belt. She has 3 now, of mixed martial arts. She sounded like she was an ancient Greek philosopher rather than a 12-year-old. What Taylor has accomplished in her young years, and again, remember she was 15 here, most adults will never accomplish in their lifetime. Everything from collecting stuffed animals for police to helping build water wells in both Africa and Haiti. I'm sure she's just getting all warmed up. This is from one of her blogs. No machine can do the work of extraordinary people. This is what a clever man once told me. Ordinary people's work is equal to that of a programmed machine, whereas extraordinary work has no synonym of equal value. Nothing can compare with something extraordinary because it is genuine and comes from one person. I was 7 years old when SBN Dan gave me a picture with this message written on it. The last line of his wisdom stated, "You are extraordinary." I didn't fully understand the message until I was my first black belt test in 2009. Then and now, it has made me realize that normal or ordinary never achieves anything more than typical. Okay, I'm going to read that again because that's really important. Then and now, it has made me realize that normal or ordinary never achieves anything more than typical. That's a mouthful out of a 15-year-old. Be extraordinary and do great things. Make this black belt test be the best it can be and always work at a higher level than any machine. For the last black belt phase, I have gotten rather behind on my requirements, as well as making excuses to myself about why I didn't push harder. Then today, something clicked again, and I've already done 1,000 quality sit-ups. 1,000. A certain memory is what drove me out of my little train of thought. It was the June 27th, 2009, almost 2 years ago, at the Power Within Firewalk in Sandy, Oregon. We had all had a tough day, and the actual firewalking was yet to begin. Everybody was given an arrow that represented an obstacle that we had to break, literally through. When it was my turn, I promised myself I would never make excuses for things in my control. I still have that arrow. It is in 2 pieces now, and my mental outlook to finish all requirements in the given time has not only been rekindled, but is now roaring with an intense desire to succeed. These 2 philosophies will stay with me for the rest of my life. Taylor has lived her life as full as any human being could possibly live it, and she's still a very young lady. She goes on to say, when I was 9, I saw that other people were doing projects, so I decided to do one too. I looked around at projects and there were lots of food drives going on, so I wanted to do something different. At that time, I didn't really know about the problems with people having clean water. I found a charity called Water First International, and I was able to raise money through my community. We raised enough money to purchase a water pump in Bangladesh and a small well in Ethiopia. with each servicing over 100 people. Before this, people had to walk 6 miles each day for dirty water, and I felt really good about helping them get clean. When I asked her what would you say the biggest gift is in working on projects like this, she replied again, I love it when I see them smile. I mean, for me, when I'm coaching people or when I see them get finished with something and they're smiling because they did it, that's so important. How many of us are doing something of this magnitude just to see someone smile? When Taylor was 8 years old, after one of her classes, she decided her goal was to be a third-degree black belt before she got out of high school. In the podcast, she was asked what motivated her. I'm inspired by all the amazing instructors around me. I don't want to just achieve and be mediocre. Now 15, Taylor is currently training for her third degree. It is challenging and everybody is there to support you, she said about her experience. They are not going to hold you any lower than what they know you can do. Taylor has been an instructor at Aim High for 3 years and was helping out with classes even before that. She learns as much from the students as they learn from her. Isn't that a life lesson we often have when we give back in some way? We always receive more than what we give. When asked if martial arts has been easy, she replied, no, but it's been wonderful with all of the challenges. When I was 9, I was asked to be a part of the Power Within team to get my first degree black belt. Originally, I was supposed to go for my candidate belt because I was a little behind the others since I had started a few months after they did. But I kept working hard and caught up. It clicked when it started getting real and intense, more like a lifestyle rather than a hobby. How about that? When she was asked about her black belt was harder, the first degree or the second degree, this is what she had to say. They each were different in different ways. The first degree test was more about learning the project management, learning the skills, making sure I knew everything, and especially working through nerves, which was something I had a problem with. My second degree was more about learning how to be a leader in the community and reaching out. That was when I started working more on as an instructor. I helped out with classes, but I hadn't been able to be in charge of a group before. In the podcast, the comment was made that a lot of kids who are 14 won't lift a finger to take out the trash, and Taylor has already impacted over 200 kids in her community and impacted hundreds of families internationally. She was asked if there was something that her parents were helping her to do. It has been me that has been leading it, but my parents have always helped with giving me ideas for projects, and their support is always with me. I am the one that does most of the work with fundraising. They would give her the names, but she had to go after the money and getting the word out. But they are always there to help me and give me support and help. Taylor also developed a nutrition bar as her science fair project. I wanted to do something that tied back to my philanthropic works. Here she is. How old was she here? I think she was like 12 or 13. I wanted to do something different that tied back to my philanthropic work, so I decided to use my knowledge in health and nutrition to come up with a solution to world hunger. She's worried about world hunger at this age. When kids are suffering from a severe acute malnutrition, it depletes their bodies and allows bacteria to invade. There are several harmful diseases that can result from that. Her motivation came when seeing the results of the water well for the school in Haiti. They had sent a video and she was able to see how happy the kids were. It made her want to do more. I wanted to branch out my horizons. I wanted to move on from clean water to work on hunger as well. Now she is working on her third degree black belt project as her ethos project after witnessing bullying in the public school system. Now she's gone to bullying. Taylor feels that the problem is getting worse, and especially with the development of technology and cyber bullying. So she went on and created with another young lady a whole bullying program to be used by schools. At the very end, I asked her what she was most grateful for and any advice she could give to parents or others to create a life they want to live. I'm grateful for my support team, my family, and my Aim High family because they hold me to high standards but are always there to help and encourage me. Her best advice, don't give up. These simple but powerful words, I don't even know where to begin with what Taylor has achieved in 15 short years. She's a wonderful example of having crystalline moments, and it is in her DNA to move forward with the opportunity they provide. She talks about moving from providing clean water to undeveloped countries to solving world hunger, like it is something everyone does every single day. So now I felt that this was a very appropriate Saturday to talk about my two amazing granddaughters. And I want you to, if you know, when you're looking out for those toys and things, and look at your children and look at your grandchildren and say, what can we do to help encourage their curiosity? What can we do to make them want to think about giving back? It's always, um, it's always what she is doing now is absolutely phenomenal. She has a good career and she's having a great life. So Taylor has far surpassed what many of us will do in a lifetime, and I cannot wait to see what she soars to next. And yes, this grandmother is very proud. I hope that there is a message in there for you that you appreciate where these girls have come from and what they're doing and what they're achieving. You know, for some of us that feel like the younger generation maybe isn't as good as they should be, look at what they've done and look what they've achieved, what they can achieve. Taylor and Kinsey are no different than any other child. Anybody can do this. And they just have great way of showing it. All right, everybody. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful week before Christmas. And I'm not sure if I'll be coming to you next Christmas or not. I'm going to probably be on, but I'm not 100% certain. So if not, I hope you have a beautiful holiday season and a very, very blessed year. I'll talk to you next Saturday. Bye now.